Throughout May, history, adventure, heartbreak and star-studded romance sound a clarion call to movie lovers as a quintet of classic films call back the past. Hi and welcome. We're still calling back the past in Cinema, and this week we go back to one of the greatest novelists who ever wrote. Sir Walter Scott was a revered Scottish poet and novelist whose stirring words brought the realities of 18th century Edinburgh and the wild Scots Highlands to life in his verse and prose. But his fascination with the English monarch, Richard the Lionheart, led to his greatest novel, Ivanhoe. Richard Lionheart was crowned in 1189. He led his men on many crusades, but was taken captive in Germany. His wicked brother, King John, plotted against him while he was a captive, until Richard returned to claim his throne. As it happened, Hollywood also loved Richard Lionheart. Cecil B. DeMille's The Crusades in 1935 cast Henry Wilcoxon in the role. He was played by Ian Hale in The Adventures of Robin Hood, by Anthony Hopkins in The Lion in Winter, by Richard Harris in Robin and Marian, and most recently by Sean Connery in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. In 1952, MGM created their own Richard Lionheart in the person of Norman Wooland, who was the kingpin of their lavish film treatment of Scott's classic novel. The film was shot in England in the grand MGM manner, but the stars were mainly Americans. In the title role of Lord Wilfrid of Ivanhoe, they had the leading man Robert Taylor, whose chief opponent was played with sneering, sardonic poise by the ever-villainous George Sanders. As the inevitable damsels in distress, we could choose between the Anglo-Saxon beauty Rowena, played with cool blonde arrogance by Joan Fontaine, and the ravishing Jewess Rebecca, played by Liz Taylor, just a few months after her 20th birthday, when her beauty still had the power to startle. Their tangled love story takes the foreground against the battles between the swaggering Normans and the brave Saxons, in which even Robin Hood and the merry men of Sherwood Forest get involved. Making a swashbuckling movie is a lost art today. Ivanhoe was one of the last of the breed, and its rollicking gusto certainly does call back the past. Next week's nostalgic journey takes us out west as John Wayne tames a wild frontier in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. See you next Saturday at 3.